We're in the home stretch of Booze Week, y'all. So today on CityCast Las Vegas, I've got co-host Vogue Robinson. Hey, Vogue.
Hey, hey.
And lead producer Sonia Cho Swanson. Hey, Sonia.
Hello.
And we are going to talk about the best happy hours in town and how the concept of happy hour even got started. It's Thursday, January 19th, 2023. I'm David Figler, and this is CityCast Las Vegas. Okay, Vogue and Sonia, I don't know if you're big drinkers or not. Maybe we're going to figure it out, but I know we all love a bargain. So let's start out with some definitions. What, in your opinion, qualifies as a happy hour? What are the must-have components?
Yes, the bargain is the must-have. Like, I'm not really there for the drinks. I'm there for these half-off appetizers. I don't like full meals. I want sliders and quesadillas and wings and fries. And
she loves her bites.
I do love bites.
What about you, Sonia?
Yeah, for me, definitely the bargains. You know us very well. But also the timing, because it's outside of a regular meal time, it feels a little bit special, a little bit decadent, like, ooh, I'm treating myself to something. So that's why I like a happy hour. I do something a little extra for myself, whether it's a extra beer or an extra twice-baked potato skins or something. You know, they're so good.
Yes. So I think it's the deals, it's the good foods, and then I think they should have a signature cocktail.
Ooh.
Like, if we're gonna have happy hour, I feel like sometimes I want to see what you got and to be able to try it for a less expensive price. What's your take, Figler?
I also want it to be, like, I get it needs to be an off hour, but I want it to be an off hour I can get to.
Yes,
so, you know,
traffic.
like 2:45 to 2:55, it's like, that's not going to swing for me, you know?
No.
Or if I have to, like, if I was working normal hours and like I get off at 5 and it ends at 5:30, like, that's rough.
Right.
I get it. It's usually a little earlier, sometimes a little later. We'll talk about that too. But yeah, it has to be a good timing.
Agreed.
All right. But Sonia, you did a little digging into this topic. Where does the happy hour originate? How did we get happy hours to begin?
Okay, before I tell you the results of my research, I want to hear your wildest guesses. Where do you think happy hour originated?
Let's see. Okay. People were very depressed after their terrible jobs in the mines. And they thought, we must create something to make people happy, even if it's only for 1 hour. And in the same way they gave the military cigarettes and booze, they just said booze is the best way to make people happy. And therefore, happy hours were born.
I mean, I can't beat the poetry of Vogue Robinson as it goes. It's a scam to make the owners happy, not the people. That's my cynical answer.
I'm going to let you know right now that Vogue wins. She's definitely closest to the actual truth.
Yeah, there you go.
So happy hour originated in the 1920s in the U.S. Navy.
Oh, holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh, you had military and everything.
Yes.
Right,
Good job,
right.
Vogue.
You were right. Because they needed a morale-building hour to relieve the drudgery of long hours at sea. As far as we know, these involved, morale-boosting events and games and just like free time. It didn't necessarily involve discounts on drinks.
But probably a lot of limes for the scurvy and whatnot.
I would imagine. But happy hour got a distinctly boozy flavor during Prohibition because, during Prohibition, you couldn't actually order an alcoholic drink with your dinner at a restaurant. So people would stop in at a speakeasy before dinner during that, happy hour, late afternoon time, grab a drink, and then go get their actual restaurant meal.
Oh, okay.
And then we start to see the term happy hour as a booze kind of filled hour for bars. That term starts to really show up in the common parlance in the 1950s. We see it in like newspaper articles and magazines and so forth. So we can thank the 50s for spreading happy hour far and wide.
Okay, well, thank you to those people. Thank you, Navy, for all that you do. Thank you for your service, especially when it comes to boozing. So what are your favorite overall happy hours in Las Vegas? You got some lined up, Sonia?
I am actually a big beer drinker. I don't drink too much of the hard stuff. I love a nice flavorful beer. So I love the beers at Tenaya Creek. Is it Tenaya or Tenaya Creek? I think Tenaya. Tenaya? Okay.
Oh, I've heard
Thank
it both ways. That's in Nevada for you.
Interesting.
I know,
So If it's Tenaya or Tenaya, I love beer, so I love the happy hour at Tenaya Creek Brewery. They have it Monday through Friday from 4 to 7 p.m., a very generous spread of hours. And you get $3 pints, $9 pitchers. They've got lots of TVs up so you can watch the game. They'll often have food trucks outside too, so that's one of my favorites. I also love Hop Nuts Brewing over on Main Street. They've got their half off happy hour from 5 to 7 p.m. So they have half off all drinks and $5 select appetizers. So that's my beer vote right there.
Okay. And I do love those food trucks at Tenaya Creek.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Tenaya Creek. And they would do trivia and stuff. And that was always tied into the happy hour stuff.
Nice.
How about you, Vogue? What's your go-tos?
It's so funny because I literally have a memory of Hop Nuts. I'm pretty sure there was a guy who used to do kielbases like right in front of Hop Nuts.
Yeah, the big grill.
Yeah.
I remember that.
My spouse used to also host a pub quiz there.
Oh, nice.
My like go-to favorite is actually a Cheesecake Factory at Boca Park. Specifically because when I first moved out here, I was working at K.O. Knudsen. And so I'd come out of KO and drive, and you just kind of take Charleston straight up and pray that you make it there in time, because it was from 4 to 6. So like we'd get off at like 3:30, get there by 4, then we'd have the full 2 hours after school to order what we wanted to order. You can't beat getting like the avocado egg rolls for, like 30% off. There were 3 or 4 drinks that were specifically on sale. So like a mojito is really all I need. So a $7.95 mojito, I really go ahead and grind my mint up and give it to me.
And that is a dedicated commute. That is serious east side to west side, even on Charleston.
Yeah. Dip. Wow. We used to dip up Charleston.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was
when I couldn't navigate the city either. So, like, I needed a straight shot.
Oh, yeah.
And so I learned the city.
What's your second one, Vogue?
Sammy's wood-fired pizza. So,
classic.
Yeah. It's so funny because both David, you and I were talking about the Las Vegas Happy Hour website. So, there's literally a LasVegasHappyHour.net. And 25-year-old Vogue was about it. And so I found like Sammy's wood-fired pizza. It was cool to see the wood-fired pizzas, but also it went from 3 to 6 p.m. So it started a little bit earlier. Mm-hmm. And it was just dope to be in that space. It's $2 off the beer and wine. So it wasn't really about the drinks, but just happy hour pizza. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
That sounds amazing. What about you, David? What's your happy hour pick?
Also food forward. I mean, I feel like we really should have had some like serious degenerate inebriate on with us today. To just like, let me just tell you where I go for happy hour. I get $2 beers over at the Low End Bar and Grill. There's no grill.
Do we have the Simpsons equivalent of a Moe's?
Oh, we do. But I would imagine they don't probably do happy hours. I'm guessing.
I think it's happy hour 24/7.
Right. In their minds, they are happy hour 24/7 for the good dives. But I'm going to go with some food ones. My favo is going to be You or Me Sushi downtown. Ooh. Kind of a higher end sushi place. I'm going to call it that just because when you go in normal hours, you could really rack it up in sushi like you can in a lot of places in Vegas. But they have this, like, I'm not going to call it a hidden one because people know about it, but it's hard to find online. You just kind of walk in and like, oh, it's happy hour. It goes 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. They have a bonus 10 to 11 on Friday and Saturday. So a good healthy amount of happy hour. And they have a special menu that is only available during happy hour, which is also like a bonus. But let's start with the drinks. So you like Sapporo?
Yeah, I love Sapporo.
$5.
Ooh.
You like sake? A whole carafe of hot sake, $5. All right. And then they have like some specialty drinks as well. So they have this special Japanese cocktail, which is a chuhai. Which is basically a liquor and some kind of flavored soda. And that's only $6. You could get a glass of wine for $6. Now the food, okay? You get gyoza, $5. Crispy rice, sushi, and that could be spicy tuna or salmon or yellowtail, $5. And then they even have this like mini udon noodle soup, $8. And that fills you up. And it's so amazing. Lovely. Yeah. So
you guys, I have to leave this episode because I got to go there.
My stomach is literally growling right now.
I know. It's so good. 3 till 6. That's a good chunk. That's a good chunk. All right. My other favorite happy hour, also food oriented. And this is like the disappointment of disappointment because it is so popular. The last literally 4 times I tried to go there, I couldn't get a seat at the bar.
In.
Herbs and Rye.
Oh, no. Okay, well.
If you go till 8 o'clock, half price on so many items on the menu, but mostly the steaks.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a meat eater, wowzer, right? Because those are really, really good steaks. And then they do it again late at night, which is totally cool.
Yeah.
That people kind of can come in there and do that.
That's a really Vegas-y thing to have a second happy hour.
Well, you have to with all the shifts. You know, people work graveyard, people work swing, and they get off really late. And it's a nice thing for the community, I'm going to say.
Totally.
All right. So what about that with the industry-oriented late-night happy hours? Besides Herbs and Rye, are there any other good ones out there?
Yeah, so Starboard Tack, which is a fun little bar east and just off the Strip.
I always tell people it's by the DMV.
Oh, gosh, which you don't want to go to. Don't end up there by mistake.
Not afterwards, anyway.
No. End up at Starboard Tack. It is open 24/7. So they have a happy hour special from midnight to 3 a.m. Rum drinks are half off. You get $5 pina coladas and $5 well drinks. I have not made it past midnight at Starboard Tack yet in my life, but perhaps that's a life goal.
Yeah, it's an old school, just a little fun fact, old school restaurant in Las Vegas that kind of fell away. And then it sort of had this resurgence, this ground up from the ashes like a phoenix. And now it is definitely a popular destination. People love it there.
And then out on Spring Mountain, which, you know, we all know Chinatown is a huge destination for industry folks after they get off work to come out to party in Chinatown. Izakaya Go has a late night happy hour from 10 p.m. to close every night. So you've got all kinds of small bites under $5. You've got fried oysters, shrimp dumplings, salmon hand rolls, just fun little bites of food to enjoy late night.
And I would imagine it is packed with people who are just getting off work from their own restaurants, their own bars, their own stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Foodies,
and then probably because they all know each other too, they get even happier hours.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Exactly.
Happy hours.
Yeah.
So another reverse happy hour that goes on, and that's like 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. is
I like that term, reverse happy hour.
Yeah. You know, it probably was invented just for Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So McMullen's Irish Pub, which is near the Strip, but like Strip adjacent, which is lovely, has half off on their appetizers and $1 off their beers. So that's one people can go to, especially if you work at the Strip and you need to swerve into somewhere.
Yeah. And if they have music
out.
playing late night, that's kind of fun too. Sometimes they'll have Irish bands and it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And what's nice is like some places, because they're open much longer, like they'll have the regular happy hour and then they'll have the reverse happy hour. One of those spots is Echo and Rig in Tivoli Village. Now, I know it's David's favorite building
Rap.
in Las Vegas. But, you know, sometimes happy hour gives you the ability to go to a place that maybe you couldn't afford during regular hours and you can try like something there.
I like places in there. I just architecturally, I think kind of agreed on that one, but okay.
Yeah, we kind of panned it. Sorry, Tivoli.
I like Tivoli Village. You guys, stop it.
Sorry. But Echo and Rig is a very nice steakhouse. They have really, really lovely food. So getting that at a discount during happy hours is pretty nice.
And I love that we're having this conversation because I'm sure that there's plenty of like people who just stick to the Strip, right? And they like think, oh, the drinks are pretty cheap or I'll get free drinks just because I'm gambling. And that is its own sort of happy hour. But this is like destination oriented happy hour. So I'm really cool with doing that. Before we close out, I understand we might have some of our listeners telling us what their favorite happy hours are.
Yeah,
Yes.
so let's listen to that. I'm curious to hear what other places we can go to since 2020, you know?
Yeah, well, I'm going to read a few listener emails that we got about favorite happy hours. So Taylor says the Golden Tiki has the best happy hour, $8 specialty drinks, and tater tots served with French onion dip. Yum. Keri says the best happy hour is Fire Rock Steakhouse up in Centennial Hills. Happy hour 3 to 6 p.m. every day. And she says, also make sure to sit at the bar to experience the best bartender. Shout out to Yvonne. Kimiko says, gotta be Pub 365. You can't beat the happy hour specials there. And she shouts out the variety of local craft beer. I love it. Mariann loves the Martini in Summerlin. She says, great happy hour with amazing prices on cocktails. Also, you can get a bottle of wine to take for $6. Summer recommends The Local, a wine bar at the District in Henderson. We love to see some local Henderson recs. And Manuel recommends Sicky's Garage and Lindo, Michoacan. And we've got a couple voicemails, too.
Hi, my name is Daysie. I was calling in for some happy hour recommendations I have. I wanted to name 3 of them. I have Japanera, which is really good late night happy hour place. The Pepper Club by Todd English is a really cute restaurant in the Arts District. And then Hola Cocina and Cantina. It's on the southwest side of town, and they have a really good happy hour for sharing big portions, and they have really cute drinks.
My favorite happy hour, I would definitely have to say, since I'm a local girly, is probably BJ's. I'm a sucker for cheap drinks and pizza, and they have half off pizza, and they have really good margaritas. And then my second favorite would probably have to be Shucks, because it's across the street from my house, and they have specials on oysters. Can't go wrong with that. Thanks.
Ooh, some cool familiar ones and some I really want to check out. Hey, thank you, listeners. And thank you, Vogue and Sonia. I look forward to us all getting together for a happy hour. We just have to pick out of all these many which one we meet at, right?
Yes.
Whatever has the best food.
There we go.
Hey, before you go, here's Vogue with a little news you should know.
First up, Governor Joe Lombardo's first executive order this month was to order state workers back into their offices by July 1st. Now, a union representing some of those workers is pushing back. With 24% of state jobs now vacant, the union says more flexible work schedules will actually help fill those jobs and retain workers. No comment from Lombardo. In other news, the Artisan Hotel is closed right now, but when it reopens in April, it'll have a new name, and it hopes to be the city's first cannabis-inclusive hotel, complete with a lounge and a specially ventilated floor to accommodate smokers. Of course, there will be a couple of big licensing and state law hurdles that the owners will have to overcome first. So, fingers crossed.
And that's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show and you're having your own personal happy hour, just go tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Talk soon. What about you, Sonia?
Oh my gosh, you guys I love you. I love you so much.
Good. Oh, it hurts. Come on, David.